A 2 degrees Celsius rise in global temperatures could wipe China off the face of the Earth. Studies shows that the economic damage from flooding in China at 2 degrees Celsius global warming can be twice as much as its 1.5 degrees Celsius. Compared with global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius, the likelihood of major floods will be significantly higher at 2 degrees Celsius global warming, the study says, adding that the likelihood will double in some areas. Direct economic losses and 1.5 degrees Celsius would be about $33 billion a year for major floods and increase to $70 billion for minor floods, affecting most of the country. At 2 degrees Celsius, these projected costs roughly double, the authors say. The study sends a clear signal that the warmer we allow the climate to get, the greater the dollar loss from flooding, the scientists say. They add that the results are important because they allow politicians to see the economic cost of inaction. The record-breaking floods in just 3 days in the central Chinese city of Zhengzhou, home to 12 million people, brought almost a year's worth of rain. The resulting flooding was the city's deadliest natural disaster in decades, killing about 400 people. Unprecedented rain also hit nearby cities in Henan province, causing flash floods and landslides. Crops were flooded, more than 50,000 houses were destroyed, and more than 1.4 million people were evacuated. Overall, the rain caused direct economic damage of 120 billion yuan, including 41 billion yuan in Zhengzhou alone. After the flood, the number of climate change references in extreme weather news in the Chinese media increased, albeit slightly. Wang Jihua, head of the China Meteorological Administration's Disaster Relief Department, blamed climate change for the disaster at a press briefing following the flood. He said, "The increase in the likelihood of extreme weather events has become one of the biggest risks facing the world, which requires our great attention. In terms of response, the focus is on strengthening monitoring and early warning capabilities." Flooding causes the most economic damage of any other natural disaster in China in recent years, but flood insurance has not yet become widespread. In 2021, China's economic damage from floods was $25 billion, less than $41.8 billion in Europe. This year, extreme weather has again hit southern China, with heavy rains disrupting the lives of 500,000 people, flash floods turning roads into flooded rivers, and homes and cars submerged.